Give this a minute. Give this a minute. There we go, we fixed the bit where I'm hearing myself. We'll give it like 5 minutes and then we'll put the Blue Sky post out. Yeah, we're basically ready. We get the chat window in the right spot. And while we get ready, you know what, I'm gonna pause this background music for a minute. Just chill out with some 0-0 perfect stop. A game I will eventually play on stream at some point when I find a good way to set it up.
Welcome aboard the Fuji Express.
My tiny little pocket-sized train sim that fits on this tiny little thing. This has been maybe my most played Playdate game. Is this tiny little train sim. Even if it is way more focused on perfectly stopping at stations than I usually play train sim games. We got someone playing it. We can mute this for a minute and I wanna just pull some gameplay up for a minute. This tiny little train sim. It is a surprisingly competent little train sim for such a tiny little handheld. I'm so consistently impressed at how this approximates 3D graphics on a screen that really shouldn't be doing 3D games. Like, the Playdate development community has been so genuinely fascinating with what they've managed to do within the constraints of this hardware. It is a frankly fascinating little dev community that's popped up around it. I need to remind myself what I even have on the Playdate at the moment and if there's new stuff I want to be picking up. This has definitely become my default, like, little travel handheld just because it's so tiny and easy to just squirrel away in a bag. What was that? What have I been playing on this recently while we wait to learn about new games? Mars After Midnight. That is the one by Lucas Pope, the Papers, Please person. What if Papers, Please was about running, like, Alcoholics Anonymous for aliens on Mars? What were some really good ones? Oh! There's a Playdate port of Celeste that's really good. The Pico 8 version of Celeste ported to Playdate. Surprisingly full-featured. Factory Farming, which is one of those, like, Factorio-style, create the ever-producing machine that harvests the resources and combines them and makes them into the things and exports them. God, I played a lot of Factory Farming. Is it mostly text-based, the Alien, AA game? No, it's, there's all visual stuff to it. You're like, you'll be told, like, oh, this is a meeting for, like, aliens who enjoy drinking coffee and have 3 eyeballs. And you're having to, like, check, you use the crank to, like, open your little security window and see aliens that are trying to come into the meeting, and you're having to, like, try and spot, do they really have 3 eyes? Is one of those actually, like, a fake eye they've glued onto their head? You're, like, investigating and looking at IDs to work out whether people really fit the criteria that they should fit to enter the meeting. You're, like, security guard for little community meetings for aliens, making sure that, like, the right people enter. The only time I saw Playdate stuff was when you did that stream where you did some game dev. Am I remembering right, or did I make up something in my head? No, you remember that, right? I need to get back to doing that. I did a little bit of game dev in, on the Playdate. I have some of my game demos on here. I don't know how well I can show them up on stream, but, This is the one? Ah, yeah, I've got a tiny little game here where the idea was you use the crank to transform between different transformations, and different transformations have different abilities. So, like, okay, I need to get through, like, the starting room of this little demo I made, there were 3 locked doors you've got to get through. One of the doors, one of the keys is surrounded by mice, so you have to transform into the cat to be able to get past the mice. One of them, there's water surrounding it, so you have to transform into a fish to swim over. One, you've got to transform into a mouse to get through a tiny hole to get the key. And then being back as the human can use the keys on the doors. That was one I did. I never went very far with it. The other one that I made as a Playdate demo that I really like was, it was a game in which it was impossible to progress without taking damage. Like, there was a room that was entirely full of spikes, and, like, there was no way to avoid taking damage. And what you needed to do was crank the Playdate handle to give yourself health. So as you're running through the room, you're constantly losing health, but cranking to restore that health. And trying to use it as a way to, like, create game mechanics around taking damage is inevitable. Trying to make it like a speedrunning game, where it's like, how quickly can you play a game where you are having to either stop to crank to get your health up and, like, work out how frequently to do that, or be skilled enough to play it while constantly cranking. I made a couple of demos that I was like, I think there's something to this. You don't have downloaded Playdate Mirror to be able to capture or stream a Playdate. I do, but I don't have, like, a cable to hand, and I can't be asked with setting it up to show it. I could maybe show it off if we had more than 15 minutes to... You know what, give me a minute, I'll see if I can set Playdate Mirror up. Maybe we can do it. Depends how prepared I am right now to get Playdate Mirror loaded up. Nah, it's all good. Do I have a cable that will... Because the problem is I packed all my tech stuff away for traveling to GA-Conf, and I haven't unpacked it yet, so I don't know if I have a cable to hand that will do what I need it to do. Okay, we'll try this. In real time, we are gonna try and see if I can set up Playdate mirroring and not have it be garbage. Will this cable do it? Playdate mirror? Playdate simulator, is that what I want? Ooh, yeah, I might be able to... Can I remember where I saved my game files? No, I can bring a simulator of the Playdate up from the SDK, but I can't remember how to tell my Playdate to show up in this. Can I work out how to get the Playdate simulator to show? This device's controller. Yeah, does it require me to remember where I saved my, my SDKs? Oh, no memory. Try one more. Try. Can I remember in the next 10 minutes how to show my Playdate up on screen? Playdate mirroring. Is the app just called Mirror? Oh, it's just called Mirror. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can show off my Playdate games that I hastily devved. Give me a second. I will show you my hastily programmed demos I made for the Playdate. So this is one of the little demos I built. I'm this little human running around. I want to get the keys to open the door. The human is eaten to death by rats. You died. Oh no, I'm gonna have to use my crank to transform. I transformed into the cat, which allows me to safely travel past the rats. Oh, I want to get over the water to that key. I transformed into the fish. You're out of water. You can't breathe. I took damage because I was out of the water for too long. I was too far away from the water. You transformed into the mouse. Which means I can go through the tiny little hole over here to get this key. And then I can transform back into the human to use the keys on the doors. You know, there's nothing amazing about this, but... Oh no, okay, I accidentally nudged the crank. I transformed where I didn't mean to. I can use the keys, and I've got my key counter in the top right that counts how many keys I have and how many use. Yeah, so you've got to transform into the correct form. Like, that's all there was to it. Was I created, like, 3 forms and 3 rudimentary things I needed to be to pass those forms, and 1 form that could use the keys and progress. So this was, like, 1 demo I made. The other one I did was... I can't progress without taking damage. So initially, you can avoid damage, it's just difficult. So, like, there was a lot of rhythm element to... You got the Playdate! Use the crank to heal damage! Oh, wait for the... I'm trying to avoid taking damage where I can. But the sort of core mechanic I designed will come up in a second. Oh, I took some damage. I can turn the crank to heal that damage. Initially, it's like, oh, that seems just like a safety mechanic. Surely you avoid taking the damage. Full stop, that's the way to do this. But then you get to the room where it becomes apparent it is impossible to not take damage. Okay, you need the key to unlock this door. You might want to move as far as you can. As you see here, you can kind of get as far as you can without taking damage. You know, heal up occasionally. But then you eventually get to the room where it's like, oh, there is no safe spot. I'm just gonna have to... You can maybe stand still while the spikes are up to minimize the damage you take. Yeah, it's not a particularly amazing game, but you can see the general concept I was playing with of brute force your way through damage by having the crank to be like, look, I'm gonna have to go through damage, but I'm gonna, like, boost through it and, like, heal my health to push through. Those were 2 ideas for mechanics I had of, like, oh, that's what the crank could be used for in this context to make a game mechanic. I never got any further than this is a singular mechanic I could do something with, um, on either of those. But that's two little prototypes I made that run on the Playdate. Both of them will run on actual hardware, and I coded them myself. I learned how to do pulp script, and I scripted those myself to make them work. Um, is there a music box simulator on the Playdate? I believe so. I don't remember the specifics. What are we playing? We were playing two little prototypes that I made for the Playdate because I think it's fascinating, and I would love to make something properly in depth for it at some point. But I had an amount of time, and I was like, I'll learn enough to make some workable prototypes and just see how it goes. Um, Yeah, hello everyone. In about 4 minutes, we're going to find out about Season 2 of the Playdate. For anyone who doesn't know about the Playdate, the deal with it is it's a tiny little black and white handheld. Absolutely tiny, like that's it in the palm of my hand. It's got a crank on the side, which is a unique input. When you buy it, for the first 3 months, every Monday you get 2 new games. So you get like I believe it's 24 games over 3 months of just every Monday you wake up and there's 2 new games. That is Season 1 of the Playdate, comes with the Playdate. Finally, after many years, we are getting Season 2, which means presumably another 24 games that will be, I'm guessing, an amount you will pay, and then for like 3 months, every Monday you'll get 2 new games, and it'll be a period of there's just cool new stuff to be playing. Like every week you'll have some new things to fuck around with on it, which yeah, the Playdate is the kind of stuff you'd expect Nintendo to make. It's very much of that era of weird little video games as toys device. Fascinating little thing. I love it as a collector of weird little video game curios, despite knowing it is pricey for what it is. It is a niche product for sure. But I have a lot of love for this tiny weird little niche handheld. Um, Personally, I want to see what Daniel Mullins would make for a Playdate game. Interesting. I know Lucas Pope has made stuff for the Playdate, which is cool. The SDK has a chiptune composition software in the SDK, at least these days. The SDK it does. It's so small IRL. Yeah, this is it in a case. Like it's even smaller if I take it out of the case, but this is it in my little turquoise case for it. Yeah, I have no idea how long this is going to be. Tell me about Season 2. I wish to know about what I'm going to be spending that, because this is going to be a preview of like the next 3 months of me on Podquisition being like, hello, it's Podquisition time again, time for Laura's Playdate Corner. What did I play this week? What is a Playdate? It's this. It's a tiny little handheld. It's got a crank on the side of it. You can turn a little crank. A lot of games use that as an input. It's got tilt inputs, it's got a D-pad and face buttons. It allows for some interesting novel game design. Laura's Playdate Corner. Exactly. It has, particularly with the case, it's got real flip phone vibes of like, let me flip open my little game device. Okay, here we go. This is going to be like, as soon as this is done, I'm going to pretty quickly head off because I've got to do the washing up, have dinner, and then go have some sleep before it's Dice Funk hours. Yeah, this released like, when was it? A few years ago. I think it was like early pandemic. It was like 2020, 2021. Yeah, and the gimmick of it is you buy it and it comes with 24 games that are sort of, over the course of 3 months, you're sort of drip fed. Your first 24 games for it like come with the price of it. And now there's like a little store for additional games you can buy, such as the one I was showing off before, 00 Perfect Stop, which is a train simulator, a 3D train sim that runs on a tiny little thing like this and you use your crank as the lever for the train sim. The Playdate Cube got indefinitely put on hold with the tariffs and the product isn't coming anytime soon. Yeah, the Bluetooth dock speaker, I really wanted to be able to have my like little desk dock where it could just be my little Bluetooth speaker and live on my desk and be my little like desk clock. It is a real shame. I hope one day that the Bluetooth little Bluetooth dock will exist, but maybe someday I will find a way to bodge together my own solution for that. Yeah, it's very specifically a niche product. It's not for everyone, but if you like weird little full of indie games handheld devices, this is very playful and it's fun. It's full of weird little creative projects from indies. Hello, fellow crankers. You know what? I'm looking at the chat here. For once, chat is not terrible. YouTube chat isn't looking terrible for once. I think that is a testament to the community this thing has, is the kind of people who would buy something like this are not your, like, angry rage bait gamers. They're like, no, I'm here for my weird little indie shit. Show me weird little abstract games made by, like, one person in 2 weeks that I can play with a crank. Let me play that game. There's a game, I can't remember if it was in Season 1 or if it was one I bought separately, that was about shredding tax documents in a back office before the IRS get there, and you're, like, using the crank to shred documents, and you've got to put the crank away, and, like, back in its little holster, but, before the IRS come in and look at what you're doing, and then as soon as they leave the room, you start cranking again to shred documents. Very gay community, very queer community. Okay, let's go.
I've loved Playdate since the feature in Edge magazine. I love supporting independent developers. I was lucky enough to be in the first 20,000 to get my Playdate, and I play it most days.
I love Playdate because the creativity that is needed to develop for it, the games and apps available on the Playdate are like nothing else on the market. It's really
You have to
unique.
develop within constraints, and I'm a big fan of what that
very easy and fun to use,
produces.
and it's always magical to put your game for the first time on the hardware, holding it in your hands and playing it with the crank.
The Playdate community has got to be one of the most inspiring, creative, and supportive communities I have ever had the chance to be a part of, and I find myself thankful for it on a near weekly basis.
I don't have a lot of time to play games, and that's why I like my Playdate. It's full of fun, unique, creative games that are
Oh, and
short
when
or
new
easy
games
to
show
play
up,
on
they
the go.
show up wrapped in a
You can't
bow
find
like
these
a
games
present, and
anywhere
you have
else.
to unwrap the present
great and
to get you a new
supportive
games.
crew of developers and a nice little device that's actually fun to use.
You have to
Playdate
unwrap
helped
the
shape
present
me
when a
from
new
guy
game
who likes
comes.
playing RPGs to a guy who makes them. Also, it's nice to have a device that doesn't make me angry.
It's nice to
Playdate.
have a little stim with
Hello,
the
it's
crank.
us, Panic, and I'm Krista. Welcome back to another Playdate update, where it's time to get hyped for season 2.
Oh, she's wearing the root
When's
beer
it
bear
happening?
shirt.
How can you get it? What will the games be? Stay
Trying to
tuned
pour
for
root
answers
beer
to
as a
all of these
bear,
questions
as a
and more.
bartender.
Well, okay. We're not actually going to tell you what all of the games will be. Obviously, we still want that to mostly be a surprise. But, spoiler alert, we will be giving you a sneak peek at 4 of the upcoming Season 2 games, and we'll quickly scroll through all of the Season 2 games' launch cards. We'll let you know right before that
Okay.
happens, but consider this fair warning.
I want to know
So
when
what
it's
have we been
coming and
up
how
to
much
since
it
our
is.
last
But
update? Well, I thought it'd be fun to bring in everyone's favorite CEO, Cable Sasser, to fill you in. Hey, Cable.
Hey, Krista.
Come
and
on,
hello
tell
to
me the
everyone.
doc's
I'm
real.
Cable, and it's so nice to see you all again.
I want to see the
It's
doc.
been a minute, and yeah, we're back to mustache mode over here. Sorry. So, as you might know, a lot of people here at Panic have been working super hard on Playdate Season 2.
Oh, that
and,
huge
it's made me
Playdate
so
behind
happy to
him
watch
is
that come
real.
together. Those games
You can
are
use the
super
crank on
special.
it. It's a real
There's
console.
always wild stuff happening in Playdate.
You
land.
can play the
And Switch
giant
Factory,
Playdate.
who we've been working
They
with
sometimes
the
bring it to
manufacturer
PAX.
to get production going, and they're already making incredibly high-quality systems. And we had our second anniversary catalog sale, which was incredible. So many good games in catalog, almost 300. We've even done
Oh,
cool
can I put
in-person
subs
events here in
on?
town, like the Retro Gaming Expo, OMSI After Dark, Fan Expo.
Oh yeah, we can put
Did you
subs
hear
on.
the whole story about how we hired a private detective to help us get some stolen Playdates
Oh yeah,
back?
like
That is
$500,000
absolutely true,
worth of
and there's a whole
Playdates got
podcast
stolen at
episode
one
about
point.
that
It was
if you're interested.
wild.
Looking forward this year, we've got an incredible OS and launcher update in the works, and not to mention, we're finally adding support for networking in our SD.
Ooh.
I cannot wait to see what developers do with an internet-connected Playdate. Also, I want to shout out the Game of the Year winners of the 2024 Playdate Community Awards. Echo, the Oracle Scroll by Bumbleborn.
Oh,
and the
these
full game
community
Off
awards
Planet
have been
Dreams
such a
by
good way of
Ledbetter
finding
Games.
weird new indie
Nice
stuff
work,
to
and
play.
thank you for making such incredible games for Playdate. And of course, a huge congratulations to all the other award winners and nominees. And thanks so much to the organizers, Playdate Squad, and to the whole Playdate community. There's a lot of work to put that stuff together, and we appreciate you all so much. Make sure to watch the awards if you haven't already. So, as always, still chaotic fun.
Yeah, there was a whole story
Marissa
about
has
like a
the really
heist of
exciting news, but before we
several
check in with her,
100,000
I do have
playdates. It
one
was
tiny
a
little
lot.
cool thing to show you. We made an all-new
Yes,
Playdate cover to
I'm
celebrate
very-
season 2, and this time it's finally in yellow.
Why
Yeah,
was it
looks
not in yellow to
delicious.
start with?
If you've been holding on and buying a cover because you wanted it to match your
Yeah,
Playdate,
what on earth
we
would you
finally
do with
got it.
online
So now
multiplayer?
I'll turn things over
on
to
the Playdate
head of
SDK.
Playdate Developer Relations, Arissa Sudeng-Noi. She's been working.
I love
super
that they
hard
are
to bring season
expanding
2
what is
together,
available to
and I
developers
hope
for this
you're
thing.
gonna love these games.
Okay,
Bye for now. Take it away, Arissa.
let me see a little of these
Thanks,
new
Cable.
games.
Hey everyone, I'm Arissa. Great to see you again. So as head of Playdate Developer Relations, I have the awesome job of not only helping put Season 2 together, but also telling you all about it. I'm really excited
Oh,
about more
crank
people
it together,
experiencing these games together at the
100%,
same
yeah.
time. That was always the idea behind having a season of games. 2 surprise games drop each week, and people get to discover them and play them and talk about them at the same time. And speaking of surprises, if you hate spoilers, consider yourself warned, because you're about to hear just a little bit
Give me a
about
little
what we
teaser.
have in
I
store
want to
for
know a
Season
little bit
2.
about what's coming.
Okay. I still mostly want to keep Season 2 a mystery, but I've decided to invite the dev teams from just 4 of the games to tell you a little bit about what they've been
I believe
working
Season
on.
1 was
First up
24
is Jay
games.
Ma of Subset Games, creators of the beloved indie games
Ooh.
FTL, Faster Than Light, and Into the Breach.
Okay, the
So go
FTL
around for
devs
the
are in
sneak
Season
peek at her
2.
game Fulcrum.
Hi, I'm Jay Ma, co-founder of Subset Games and the primary developer of Fulcrum Defender. Fulcrum Defender is an arcade-style game where your goal is to survive as long as possible while holding back wave after wave of
Okay,
threats.
so it's sort of
The
asteroids
basic
if you were
gameplay is simple.
stuck in
You
place in
just
the
aim with the
center.
crank and shoot. However, over time, enemies will get more and more complex, and you will choose upgrades and new weapons to help keep up.
Okay, a
The
little
key to
bit
survive
Vampire
is a smart
Survivors-y.
build and good aim.
Yeah, crank
My goal
aiming.
for
You
Fulcrum Defender
use the
was
crank.
to recreate some of the
to
fun of the Survivors
pick your
genre of
360-degree
games,
aiming.
while taking advantage of the unique joy that is the Playdate's crank. Specifically, though,
I love games that
wanted
take
to
proper
make
use
a
of the crank.
replayable experience that starts out slow and relaxing, but gradually ramps up until
Okay,
it
yeah, this
becomes
is
frantic chaos.
Asteroid
Originally, I didn't
Survivors.
plan on finishing this game. I was making it as a form of self-therapy. I've been struggling with long COVID the past few years, and I wanted to prove to myself that I can still make games in my current state. That's why I feel honored to have this game accepted into the Playdate's Season 2 bundle. I hope you're excited to play
Yeah,
Fulcrum
Season 1, I
Defender,
believe, was
as well
24
as all
games
the
over
other
3
great games
months.
in Season 2.
So it's every Monday
you.
you get 2 games for 3 months,
Thank
totaling
you, Jay.
24 games in
This
3
next
months.
team features someone you may be familiar with if you followed any of the Panic Games publishing news. Antonio Fire Uribe was one of the 4 people who brought us the beautiful pixel art RPG Arco for PC, Mac, and consoles last year. Now he's teamed up with Dom Ferlin on a game I think you're gonna dig.
Hi there, my name is Antonio, also known as Fire, and I was the main programmer for this game.
Look at all these.
Game designer and an
I
artist,
love
and
these
we just made
weird little artsy
Big
games.
Dino is a puzzly digging game for the Playdate.
Daniel Aldrin, the FTL devs have a sort of asteroid Vampire Survivors that looks cool.
Discover new dinosaur bones.
Now this is an archaeology game in
So,
Season 2.
Mostly dig around and find.
Oh, you're a
bones
dog. Of
and
course
try
you're
to
a dog
recreate What happened?
doing
And there's a
archaeology.
mystery layer going on there.
With the bones, you get to learn more about the strange occurrences.
Oh, I
that
bet you're
happen in
using the crank to scan the
And with
things.
the treasure, you can sell them to buy new upgrades and new tools that will help you dig even deeper.
I think the main inspiration for a game like this about uncovering, digging for dinosaurs is obviously movies like Jurassic Park and that whole concept. If you're a 90s kid, you know what I'm talking about. And I
Big
think
full
the other thing
bone.
was seeing this announced for the first time. I remember being so excited about it. And also, I have a young kid. He's 3 years old and he's obsessed about dinosaurs. And I think that's been lingering in my mind as we develop this game. So I think it's something for all the dino kids out there.
I hope people enjoy the chill loop of the game. It's a game without any
Is this
time
the same
pressure
artist as Pick
and
Pack
without,
Pup? It's a similar
any
style.
kind of
I don't
stress.
know if it's the same artist, but
So
it definitely
you'll
reminds me
be
of
able
Pick Pack
to
Pup.
Play this on the go or
Pick
while
Pack
watching
Pup
TV.
was so good.
It sounds simple, but it's the kind of game that I'm looking for these days. And it's pretty rewarding too because you play for 5-10 minutes, you do a whole day at the dig site, and then you come back to the campsite and you can spend,
Yeah, I like that a lot of
money
Playdate
each
devs
day
have
on
really
new
focused on
upgrades. It
like
feels really
manageable,
rewarding
you
as
hop
a
in and out
progression
in
too
10
fast,
minutes
and you
but you
get
can
to
do it
finish
for
the game
months
in
and
about
months kind of
4 to 6 hours,
experiences.
which feels good to get the whole story within that time.
The thing that I'm most curious about is seeing how people react to the whole story of the game. So I hope they play until the end and they discover the whole thing.
A Playdate season is an experience of pure discovery, pure joy in figuring out what these games are about. And being part of it is just an incredible experience of freedom and making a game for players that are curious, players that are looking for new things to experience, and it feels great.
Ecstatic that we get to be part of the second season for this. There are a lot of games in this that are incredible, and we're honored to be part of them. So I hope you like our game.
Thank you, and I hope you enjoy season 2.
Thank you. Bye.
Oh, sorry.
No bones about it.
I've just
You're
gotten a
going to
slight
love that
preview
game.
about what's coming
Next
in this
up, we'll
Playdate
hear from
Direct.
Pixel Ghost Ollie
Just a
Poe,
slight
whom you
one.
may know as the creator of Time from Earth
Ooh.
and the Life's Too Short series of adventure games for Playdate. His upcoming game is a reimagining of one of the most well-known point-and-click adventure games of all time, now coming to Playdate as part of Season 2.
Hi everyone, my name's Ollie Coe from Pixel Ghost, and I'm currently developing Shadowgate PD with the help of Stan on artwork and Ben on music.
Okay,
and
I'm just
sound.
gonna
Hi, everybody.
say
My name is Ben.
the
and
thing.
I did the music and sound on
Season
Shadowgate
2
PD.
starts on May
Shadowgate
29th,
PD is the
so end of
official
next month.
Playdate remake of the
$39.
point-and-click adventure Shadowgate, and it's all made in Playdate's web-based.
Is this
development
24
platform,
games
Pulp.
again?
In Shadowgate PD, you'll be exploring a fantasy world, pointing and clicking and trying to avoid traps and defeating beasts, ultimately trying to track down the Warlock Lord and save the world. Shadowgate is one of my earliest gaming memories, and the music from the NES version still fills me with equal parts nostalgia and dread.
When making music and sound for Shadowgate PD, I was thinking about how to create new songs that have their own identity.
If
and
it's
feel
24
for the
games,
game,
again,
but also could still
that's like less than
be
$2 a
nostalgic
game,
and
which
kinda
is
have
real
elements
nice.
of the original soundtrack that pull people in that have already played the game before.
Yeah,
took a lot of
press release doesn't
inspiration
have an
from previous
embargo on it,
versions
so
of the
apparently I'm
game.
allowed to
We
just
wanted
say
to
that.
take elements from the NES version. and
Yeah,
some
I have
Mac
no idea
version,
how they
but
solved the
really
copyright
developed
riddle that
something
was
unique
Shadowgate, but
and
apparently
really
someone
shined
worked
on
out
Playdate
who had the
in
rights
terms
and
of
how to do it.
The screen and the platform and the design.
Yeah,
and bringing
Shadowgate,
together
huh?
parts we liked from each side to really make sure Shadowgate PD is hopefully a great way.
Cool,
to
we're just
bring
getting
Shadowgate to a modern
Shadowgate on the
audience. I
Playdate.
remember early on in the Playdate's life cycle thinking that Shadowgate would be a fantastic game to bring to the platform, and in the end we reached out to Dave Marsh of Zojoy, one of the original creators, and simply asked. I think it's fantastic. that
Okay,
we can bring
well that's the answer of how they
really
solved the
remake
copyright
to
riddle. They went to the original creator and just said, "Can we make it?" I guess.
It's really an honor to be part.
Apparently
of
they just
this
asked the original creator, "Can we do it?"
This console's changed my life in a lot of ways. It's really allowed me to be a game developer for the first time, and to be part of such a big event for a console and a community that means so much to me is an absolute privilege. So thank you so much.
Oh, this is gonna be
Being part
right.
of Season 2
Oh.
is so cool to me because I remember
Season 2 is gonna
when
kick
I
off
first got
right
my
before
Playdate
Summer
and
Games
played through
Fest.
Season 1 with everybody else for the first time. It was just such a cool experience opening up a game every Monday, and to me it feels like this is kind of the pinnacle of what a creator wants on the Playdate, is getting into Season 2 and getting as much exposure to their game as possible. And you know, I'm really excited for people to play this game because it's just such a fun, unique game.
Thank you so much to Panic and Playdate and everybody
Yeah, that's
else
what I want
involved,
now at this
and
point. Is
please,
what's
everybody
the full
enjoy
list? Like
Shadowgate
how many
PD
games we
and
getting in
enjoy
that
Season 2.
$40?
Thanks. Have fun.
But again, this is the thing. Is like
Thanks so much. And finally, we're thrilled to have some of the Taria and Como
Ooh.
team here with us in
Yeah.
collaboration with Juvie Productions.
it's really nice to
Founded
have a
by
thing where
Viola
it's just
Davis
like, hey,
and
for the
Julia
price of like
Chen,
one AAA game,
Juvie
I'm gonna have
Productions
like
crafts
20
stories
plus
across mediums
little
from a
indie things to
diverse
fuck
range
around
of both
with.
emerging and established voices. We're so excited that Taria and Como will be a part of Playdate Season 2.
Hi, my name is Kip Henderson, and I'm the creator,
Yeah.
writer, artist.
Playdate Season 2
not
and the
programmer
Switch 2 and
for
video
Taria
game
and
news
Como.
announcement
Hi, I'm
season all
Kalen
in the
Hunt,
same month. Yeah.
Vice President of Juvie Productions and the producer on Taria and Como. Taria and Como
Ooh.
is a retro-style side-scrolling platformer. You play as Taria, And when your little sister Como
Oh,
goes
this art
missing,
style's very
you
cool.
set out on an adventure to find her.
So, Toya Como is a unique take on the platforming genre because the main character Toya can't jump all the time. So instead of jumping being the main mechanic like in most platformers, this one actually features a grapple or swinging where Toya attacks.
Okay, so you fire the robot, it connects to a point, and then you have to get momentum from swinging at the lowest end of the rope. Oh, that's real cool.
Insight into the true intentions of Toxnum.
A corrupt healthcare facility who dispatches a health bot named Dr. Brooksy to try and keep Toya safe. The game draws a lot on my own personal experiences as a disabled person, from being talked to like I'm a baby by various nurses, to having preferred medical supplies become suddenly unavailable.
Yeah, this feels like it's going to be something kind of special.
Outside of my control.
We were so inspired by Kip's story, his talent, the characters he created, each with their own unique
this is pretty
personalities
cool.
and relationship to the fantasy world of Tavern Hall where they live.
I hope players will enjoy the puzzle of trying to get from level to level using platforming techniques, the tactile.
Give me a cool, mechanically interesting platforming game about medical infantilization.
And social commentary that emerges as Dr. Brooksy and Toya go back and forth and back and forth and
back and forth like the swinging. I get it.
We hope that this is just one of many chapters to come.
I'm so excited for Toya and Como to be a part of Season 2 on the Playdate.
Thank you for checking us out, and we really, truly hope you love it. Bye.
I love the main character's
Doesn't that look great?
design.
Well, that's all the details we want to give you on Season 2 games.
Okay, yeah.
But here's a super quick tease of everything
Okay,
else
how many
that's coming
how many
this
games?
season.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
I'm so excited
Okay,
for you
12
to check out
games.
Season 2.
So we're looking at like
There will be about
$3 a
a dozen
game.
games with 2 unlocking each week for 6 weeks.
Okay, yeah.
Plus maybe a surprise. We'll see. But I'll say bye for
Okay.
now and turn it back over to Krista.
So yeah,
who's
so
going
about
to tell you how
$3
and
a
when you can
game
get these
for a
games.
selection of 12 games
It's been
over
so
6
great
weeks.
to be here with you all again.
Nice.
Thanks to all the developers who worked so hard with me to make such great games for this season. Thank you to the teams who gave us a little sneak peek into their games, and thank you for watching. Here's Krista.
Thanks, Arissa. Whew, Season 2, can you believe it? And yeah, huge thanks to all of the amazing devs for their hard work.
Yeah,
and
so that'll
also
be
for
end of
providing
May
me with
through
videos
middle of
themselves
June.
and
Oh, that's
footage from their
perfect.
games.
I've got a bunch
It's
of
super
work travel
appreciative. So the question
in
remains, how do I get this
into middle of
goodness into my
July.
Playdate? Well, all you need to do is go to this URL right now to pre-order Season 2. You can also pre-order it
Playdate.
directly on your Playdate. Here are the details. Season 2 will be $39, and the games are set to begin arriving on May 29th. And that's it. There's even time to order a Playdate now if you
Ooh,
don't
I
already have
can
one,
I can
and
apply
get
for
it
a
in time
press
Season
for
2.
press
And since more
access.
people than ever have Playdates, I'm personally really looking forward to people discovering and playing these games together in real time.
Yeah.
I know I love them so far, and I've
Because
loved hearing
the
from the
intention of
developers
the
on what went into
seasons.
And on that note,
uh,
Season 2 of the Playdate podcast will launch.
Yeah, the idea of the seasons model had originally been everyone, like, the Monday would happen and everyone would be playing the same 2 games that week, and then the next week everyone would be playing the next 2 games. But because of COVID, the rollout was really slow, so people were getting them at different times and playing them at different times. This is what I'm excited about for Season 2, is everyone's going to be playing these games. Like, the
so
games
be
will
sure to
drop
check
for
the feed and
everyone
get
who
caught
has a
up if you
Playdate
haven't
at the
already.
same time.
Okay, that's all for now.
So, like,
Go
these
pre-order
2
Season
games
2,
will be like what
subscribe
the
to
Playdate
Playdate
community
podcast,
is playing
and then
for a
play
week,
some
and I'm like,
Homework
oh.
Frog or that fabulous new Root Bear update, because you deserve it. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
I'm Fletch, the developer of Extras, and I just love Playdate because of how supportive and warm the community is. Everyone's just really kind over there.
ゲームの作りっていうのはコントローラーに大きく影響を受けます。パニックさんはここにクランクを取り付けた。これは今までにないゲームを作れる可能性がある。
I need
それを
to
作ってみたいん
have
ですよ。
another look at the catalog.
And I love the Playdate.
I need to look at more of
platform,
the
team,
the,
community
the
have
individual
literally
stuff
changed
that's
my
been
life and
released.
allowed me
It's
to
been
become
about
a
3-4
real-life
months since
gamer.
I've had a proper look on the store.
こんにちは。大一人と言います。
プレイデートの好きなところは滑らかな画面です。最近は日本語で遊べるタイトルも増えて嬉しいです。
You wanna know why I like the Playdate? You just get a crank, and crank, and crank, and crank, and crank, and crank, and crank, and...
230. How much was it when I got it? Yeah, that's the thing. It was about £200 to buy one in the UK. It's not cheap. As I say, this thing is a premium little novelty. It is not an affordably priced thing. It is not an easy to recommend thing. But I do love this weird little device. I think I bought mine for $180, but increased the price a while back. Yeah, I got mine when it was whatever the previous price is. Apparently it's $200 now. I feel like it was closer to $150 when I got it in the UK, which is still expensive. Don't get me wrong, but it's also a bespoke little device with a fairly small community to it. But yeah, as much as it's not for everyone, I do love it as a tiny little thing in my pocket. I've had a lot of fun with it. Right, I gotta go do the washing up, and then have dinner, and then go have a nap before it's time for me to record Dice Funk. Thank you so much, everyone, for thing is, you have both a plaything and your very first dev kit for a console. That's part of it. Is like, even if I've not released anything, it's been nice to have something that, like, I understand enough to know how to develop things for, and I can then run them on here, and I can go, I made a thing, and it's running on the hardware, and I can fuck around with dev a little bit. But thank you very much, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed. At some point, I want to go back to doing some game development streams for this, and try and, like, I want to make a serious actual game rather than just getting as far as, like, a proof of concept prototype and then putting the project down. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. I will be back tomorrow night with Bloom and Rage Part 2.